Thanks, man. I really tried to do the good maximalist gig. I really did my best to kill ICOs and kill alts. It didn't work. Now I'm gonna have my own alt, which is coming along really, really well. Like we might within the next 7 or 14 days have like full testnet release. So
Oh, wow.
you'll take
Wow.
testnet Bitcoin to claim your testnet Bitcoin hex on testnet Ethereum network, and then you could screw around and feel it out and make sure everything works well. I'm excited about that. That's like super super close. And then
Oh,
while we're playing with it, we'll lock our code, hash it, submit it for audit, and then have Superbrains look at it to make sure that there's no problems with it. Our code's pretty simple. I mean, we modified the RC20 contract to have a bunch of. I mean, do you want me to tell you what the token does? Do you know about it?
I'm very familiar with it. I believe
All right.
CFD, right?
Well, it's different. So I pivoted. So originally I was going to do CFD token, which was going to take my buddy's really cool computational fluid dynamics software and attach it to a processing network. But it's really hard, right? Because I have to program all the middleware for the scientists to talk to it, and then I have to tell like building a real distributed computing network from scratch is hard. Making an altcoin where you change a couple parameters on a successful coin is easy, right? So the coin that I care about now, which is 7 to 14 days out from like testnet, is called BitcoinHEX, HEX. Why BitcoinHEX? Because I could get the .com. All good .coms are taken, okay?
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I
All
got
right.
every misspelling possible, dude.
I
HECKS,
was gonna say, do you have the misspelling?
HEXX, comnet.org. I got them all.
Nice.
Um, so what I did was, I'm used to holding Bitcoin. I'm used to holding the vast majority of my wealth in Bitcoin. And I like it when things reward holders of Bitcoin. The best, most distributed, most secure crypto. So, one of the few things that gets people to close their shorts and take possession of their Bitcoin and actually hold it like you're supposed to and not create these big security holes that are exchanges, one of the few things that does that are these forks and airdrops because you actually need to have your coins. So, when I do Bitcoin hacks, if you don't have your own coins, you're not going to get any. If you hold your real Bitcoin and you have the keys, you can just sign a statement on a website that says, hey, give me my coins. And it gives you your coins.
Well,
But if you don't have them in your own wallet and they're on exchange, you're not going to get any. I mean, maybe, I guess in theory, the exchange could try to claim them on behalf of customers, but I penalize whales. So if you use multi-sig, you can't claim. If you use old SigWit instead of Beck32 SigWit, you can't claim. If
that's awesome.
you if you have over 1,000 coins, 50% cut off the top. Sorry, I don't need whales dumping on me. Like I like normal people, right? If you have 10,000 coins, 75% cut off the top. Now it's called the stupid whale penalty because if they're smart, they could just split their wallets into groups of 999 and have no penalty. But if you're too stupid to figure that out, you get the penalty, right? So no exchange. It's very unlikely that an exchange will be able to claim because it breaks their security model because they use multi-sig. And it's very unlikely that Satoshi will claim because he's probably dead, in my opinion. And then those coins that don't get claimed, I give to everyone that did claim. So if you get in early, you don't get penalized. And you get all the coins that the late people didn't get. If you get in late, you get a penalty of 2% every week you missed to the point where at 50 weeks, during your coins are gone. They already got given to somebody else. I think it's a cool metric. People don't
Really?
like losing their
Now,
stuff.
you really thought this one out, huh?
But yeah, like with Bitcoin Cash and all these other forks, like claim, not claim, whatever, you can get around to it. You don't really need the money. Maybe they'll pump. But with my thing, yeah, you don't claim, dude. You're losing it. Sorry. But if you do claim, you're getting everybody else that's screwed up. It's pretty cool.
Hey.
Um, so
And what's
if you
going to be
claim
the?
in the first week, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, what's going to be the total supply, if you don't
We
mind me
don't
asking?
know. So it's a function of so if you so right now it's about 17.5 million coins. When we take the snapshot, if everyone instantly claimed, which I think would be unlikely, if not impossible, due to like the Ethereum network would probably just crash, then the supply would be 17.5 million plus 10% for everyone bonus claiming the first week, plus maybe half the people referred themselves or other people. That's another 5%. And so every one of those bonuses inflates the currency a little bit. So claiming the first week could inflate the currency by 10%, but that falls off every week. Referring people, 5%. What else? Oh, you only get those rewards if you lock up your coins. And if you lock up your coins, you get 1% per week. But that would inflate the currency a lot. So if a lot of people take that option to make their free like 40%, for like if you lock up a year, you make 41% on a year of lockup. If a lot of people do that, it reduces it. So like if half the people lock up their coins, it reduces the payout to people who locked up by that number plus one. So if 50% of the people locked up, it would be 6x less payout. So you get paid insanely well if you get in early, and you get paid insanely well if you lock up your coins. But as more people lock up, you get paid less. So I'm targeting like a 3% interest rate. So other tokens that have staking, they tend to lock up 50 to 60% of the supply. And if we get around 50 to 60% lockup adoption in this, we should end up around a 3% inflation, which is lower than Bitcoin. Like wow. Bitcoin right now has an inflation of 3.5. And on top of that, you know, in Bitcoin, you have to pay miners inflation for security. We don't pay miners anything. We don't have to pay for security. We're, you know, freeloading on Ethereum. So if there's any inflation in our system after 50 weeks, after all the cool game theory adoption stuff is over, after 50 weeks, the only inflation is to people that locked up their tokens and made them unusable. And that's the same thing we do in the real world. In the real world, if you get a certificate of deposit at a bank, you get 2.25% if you lock up a year. If you lock up 2 years, you get 2.45%. They give you 10% more. If you lock up 3 years, you get like 2.65, right? So every time you add a year, it'll give you about 10% more. I just kind of modeled the real world, how human beings are rewarded for longer periods of being without their money. I kind of modeled that in this system, in the trustless interest. So if it doesn't work, I'll be surprised. I think it'll work, and I think it'll be super cool. And I think that all these tokens locked up with no inflation from miners, it's going to be to the moon. We'll see.